son of the most respected convenience store owner in the village, the domineering boyfriend opened the fridge, allowing his wealthy girlfriend to eat freely. However, pampered Haerin didn't know what to choose. Giannis mistakenly thought she was shy. She picked the most expensive popsicle and handed it directly to her. The two sat under a blooming peach tree. Haerin unintentionally revealed it was her first time eating this popsicle. Upon hearing this, Giannis looked at her with concern. "Hasn't your mom ever bought this for you?" "You never buy it for me. You should know, this popsicle is quite common." Giannis was almost certain his girlfriend's home was in difficulty, because she usually wears torn t-shirts. Without giving her a chance to explain, Giannis made a promise. The last girlfriend experienced everything she has never felt before. In fact, they had concealed something last time. Not only was the house rented anyway in full cash, but he could even save each month. A substantial savings of 200 Korean won. Haerin blinked in surprise. Yet Giannis expected her to be so shocked. But he didn't want this to create distance between them. His intention was not to brag, but to express that even if Haerin's family wasn't that, it was perfectly fine. He had enough capability to support a happy family after marriage. He will always stand by Haerin's side. This is what Haerin first thought of after encountering the wild boar. She herself was unclear why. She recalled moments from when they were in love, becoming more uncertain about who would be by her side in the end. At that moment, Haerin visibly stepped in front of his wife and pulled the trigger at the charging wild boar. When Haerin opened her eyes and saw what was happening, it seemed as if her brain cancer was healed by her husband. Before Haerin could check on Haerin, Yun-Sing suddenly appeared from behind. "Are you okay? Could you help clean up?" Before he finished speaking, Haerin took Haerin's hand. He handed the mess over to Yun-Sing. The couple just left like that. Unbeknownst to them, the seed of hatred had taken root in this kid's heart. On the way back to the base, having just experienced the life and death moment, Haerin decided that rather than dying of illness, it was better to live well, because that feeling was just too awful. But as soon as she turned her head, she twisted her ankle. Without hesitation, Haerin scooped her up and opened his care. This was the first physical contact between the couple in nearly 3 years. You know, that really makes the heart flutter. In no time at all, Giannis returned to the base carrying Haerin. The warm gesture left the family in awe. Soon, news of Haerin's wild boar attack spread. Ironically, her hunting route was initially meant for her grandfather, and he believed the second wife's premonition, which is why he stayed indoors all day. Meanwhile, Haerin was in the living room soaking her feet. Her father praised her husband's prowess, because wild boar skin is very tough and must be shot perfectly to hit the vital spot, otherwise the consequences would be dire. Beside them, the mother-in-law scoffed. Someone who's never shy about is just relying on luck. Haerin instinctively defended her husband, stating he was a marine, but he has one worse in marksmanship. At the same time, Giannis took advantage of Haerin's recovery time to visit the crime scene alone. He unexpectedly discovered that security net had a temperament. He then shared this news at family dinner, informing everyone. Upon hearing this, the butler offered to tap the nearby surveillance page, but her grandfather refused, insisting on investigating personally. Meanwhile, the father-in-law who would down husband had served Giannis dishes, even hesitating to eat until Giannis started. Right before going to sleep, Giannis called his brother-in-law. He insisted on teaching him some life lessons, although it might be difficult, but he promised to explain it clearly yet succinctly. But the brother-in-law immediately understood. "Brother-in-law, are you afraid to sleep in the same room as your sister?" Naturally, Giannis couldn't admit that. So, under the supervision of this kid, he cautiously entered the bedroom. Every movement was extremely careful, fearing to wake the soundly sleeping Haerin. In reality, Haerin was restless and unable to sleep. Then she asked her husband to help unbutton her clothes. This was a huge challenge for Giannis. They had slept in separate rooms for over 3 years. It was the first time facing such a situation. Perhaps Haerin also realized it was inappropriate. She immediately informed that she could unbutton the remaining buttons herself. The air instantaneously thickened, and it was filled with the scent of love. To ease the awkwardness, "Aren't you going to take off your clothes?" "Do I have to take off my clothes?" "Aren't you going to take a shower?" "Do I need to take a shower?" In the room, Haerin involuntarily recalled how Giannis doubtlessly saved her, and that Princess Carrie, along with her husband, has chiseled features, and it's always in slow motion. At that moment, Haerin walked out. Noticed how Haerin swallowed hard, standing 6 feet tall with 8-pack EBS, and made her feel a bit soft-hearted. And that gesture in the bathrobe, Haerin's heart skipped a beat. Then she also walked into the bathroom. She explained she's definitely gone crazy. They hate to say peace, man. It's been so long. What happened to his body? After saying that, Haerin touched her flushed cheeks. At the moment, Haerin entered, looking at his deep gaze, those sexy lips and still damp hair. Haerin swallowed again. To cover her embarrassment, she wanted her husband not to think that just because he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, he could tempt her with wet hair. Hurry up and do dry her hair. Seriously? Who is he trying to attract? At this late hour? It's way too stimulating.